Well, that certainly is the Darlie Routier theme song, is it not? Darlie Routier, Fact and Fiction. I've done the introduction, the who's who, Routier's statements, the arrest warrant, author Barbara Davis, the myths. We're on myth number 3. Darlie administered first aid to Damon by putting a towel on his back. All of the unbiased testimony, which by necessity excludes Darlie and Darren, proves that this did not happen. When Officer Waddell arrived at 5801 Eagle Drive, about 2 minutes after the 911 call came in, Darlie was standing on the family room side of the kitchen counter holding a towel to her neck and a portable phone to her ear. Damon was laying face down in the family room entrance just a few feet from where Darlie stood. That would mean she was standing like right here. Greg Davis. Was there anything on Damon's back, such as a towel, a rag, anything besides the clothes he was wearing? No, I told the defendant to get some towels and put them on the child's back to try to stop the bleeding. Waddell then took a few steps towards the garage, keeping the family in his sight, and quickly returned to the kitchen bar to wait for backup. Where is the defendant when you come back into the kitchen area? In the same position. She's not over there with Damon? No. Waddell told Darlie a second time to get towels and put them on Damon's back. Davis. And what did she do? Waddell. Nothing. She kept telling me that she chased the suspect across the kitchen, that he dropped the knife and she'd picked up the knife and brought it back and set it on the counter, and she told me she thought she'd messed up the fingerprints. Officer Matt Walling arrived a few minutes later, and both men quickly checked the garage for a suspect. When Waddell returned to the kitchen after about 40 seconds, Darlie was still standing by the bar. Davis, did you look over to see if a rag or a towel and anything had been placed on Damon's back? Yes, sir. There was none. 2 paramedics, Brian Kochak and Jack Colby, entered the house 1 to 2 minutes after Walling. Colby went to Damon. Kochak went to Devin. Greg Davis asked, "Where was Darlie when you came into the room?" Medic Colby says, "She was standing next to Officer Waddell on the family room side of the bar, holding a towel to her neck." Davis, "Was there a rag or a towel or anything else on top of Damon?" Colby, "No, there was not." "Are you sure about that?" "I'm absolutely sure about that." Colby was with Damon for approximately a minute before he carried him to the ambulance. After checking Devin and not getting a pulse, Kolchak turned his attention to Darlie, quickly taking her to the front porch to assess her injuries. She did not re-enter the house. At this point, Waddell and Walling went upstairs to check the second floor. Darren's testimonies given both before and during the trial are astoundingly contradictory in regard to the towels. The following is a testimony from August 26, 1996 bond hearing. "This towel," Davis says to Darren, "this towel that you say was on the back of Damon was still on his back." Darren said, "I believe it was. You didn't remove it, did you?" In his trial testimony 5 months later, however, Darren said he had removed the towel from Damon's back in order to lift up his shirt, thus implying that Darlie had placed the towel there and he'd removed it before the first responders arrived. Yet in his September 12, 1996 testimony, he stated, "I never lifted up his shirt or anything. I was afraid to touch him." Even after Darlie was convicted, Darren's claims continued to argue with each other. As a guest on the Lisa Gibbons show in 1998, he stated, "There were 3 towels on one boy and 2 on the other, and yet none of the boys' blood was found on any of the towels, only Darlie's blood." Darlie's testimony didn't make any more sense than Darren's. The day the house was released on 6/17/96, Chris Frost was standing in the family room with me and Darren, and I had realized that I had gone to the sink and gotten towels out of the drawer, and I told him that. That's when the towel story come up. She damn sure mentioned getting towels because she saw that fucking sink was gone. That's why. It's like, holy shit, literally. However, the very next day, on June 18th, she met with Bill Parker, a former Dallas police officer, private investigator. He had Darlie read over her 6/8 statement in which she made no mention of going to the sink or wetting towels. Parker stated that she appeared to read it carefully, even following along with her finger. When he asked if she wanted to change anything in it, her response was, "No, that's exactly the way it happened." So she doubled down on the not going for towels. Conclusion. David Waddell could clearly see Damon. He saw his eyes were open and that he was trying to breathe. Jack Colby examined the child's back and actually rolled him over. If there had been a towel on Damon, these two men would have known it. Equally significant is the fact that Darlie remained in the same place on the family room side of the bar the entire time until paramedic Kochak took her to the front porch. In her June 8th statement, Darlie claimed that she put a towel on Damon's back, even though the testimony evidence confirms she did not go near him. Several months later at trial, she testified that it was a wet towel. Darlie. I got towels and I was calling 911 as I got the towels. Doug Mulder. After you got the towels wet, did you take these to Darren? Darlie. I got a couple of towels wet and I went to Damon first. I put a towel on my baby's back. So Darlie has the phone in one hand and is holding a towel to her neck with the other hand. Where's her third hand to wet towels? In the sink. Even if we accept her vague explanation that she was cradling the phone on her shoulder occasionally, how did she avoid getting a single drop of water on the floor? She certainly wouldn't have taken the time to wring the towels out. I do believe this was a self-serving statement, motivated by the memory of Waddell telling her to do so, and her failure to act. She had 2.5 days in the hospital to mull over the potential evidence against her, and this particular incident probably weighed heavy on her mind. Even Darlie must have realized there's something unnatural about a mother tending to her own wounds while ignoring her children's.